welcome back. WeArEuS, and this is Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. Now, as you may remember from last episode, if you are a follower of this playthrough, the episode before that, we went to the house that, what is her name? Not Irabeth. I remember Irabeth's name. Anevia. That's her name. We went to the house that Anevia and Irabeth shared. It went the way that it went. We encountered a succubus. That was a bit of a nightmare. The enemies on the outside of it weren't a bundle of laughs either. Then we went on ahead. We cleared out Horace Gwyrm's house, mansion, as it were. We got some pretty good stuff. Found out some pretty good stuff. Then we moved on and we helped out the absolutely, utterly ineffable Dayran. We'll talk to him in a little bit. First, we've got something that we need to talk to Irabeth about. I accidentally spoke to her after I ended the previous video and wandered into this conversation. I thank you for saving the esteemed citizens of Kingmaker, even though not all of them deserve to be saved. May Iomedae forgive my words. Irabeth casts a meaningful look at Count Arendai, sitting at a nearby table, which is untrue. He's all the way on the opposite end of the tavern. I don't really mean that, of course. I just never fail to be astounded by the way that good people seem to perish while the not so good prove to be incredibly, amazingly enduring. What's your problem with Dayran? Is there bad blood between you two? Oh, no, nothing like that. I think he just likes all paladins equally, but the real question is, who does he like? Only his hangers-on, I'd wager. You'd be wrong about that. The Count has a certain reputation in Mendev. He's not a pleasant individual by any means, but he's not known for any particular villainy either. The Count enjoys a life of leisure surrounded by a gaggle of sycophants who are always eager to badmouth the Queen at his command. He likes settling scores, too. There was a hero of the First Crusades, Sir Lant, a kind and honest man. After the end of his glorious career as a soldier, he became a wise mentor to the younger generation. He ran afoul of the Count somehow, perhaps by lecturing him about his idle lifestyle and lack of purpose. When Sir Lant died, the Count managed to buy a portion of his estate and ordered the knight's helmet to be reforged into a chamber pot. And, of course, he didn't keep his little joke private. The Queen was particularly affronted by it because Sir Lant used to be her most loyal comrade in arms. I was there receiving an assignment from Her Majesty and witnessed the exact moment she found out about the helmet's fate. It's a small thing, but I could see the Queen's anguish at the travesty that had been made of her friend's legacy. That's what our Count is like as a person, and for his talent for survival. Do you know the story of Heaven's Edge? He was the only member of his family to escape with his life when the demons unleashed a magical plague on the Arendai estate. Could you tell me more about those events? I don't know all the details. It happened a while ago, back when I was a mercenary and had nothing to do with Kingmaker. I know that there was a grand feast in honor of Dayran's birthday, and all his relatives were invited along with a few other distinguished guests. Everyone died from a mysterious disease someone had unleashed on the estate, including the servants, the guards, and a number of clerics and paladins. But the young Count survived because of his healing ability, I suppose. Dayran does possess an unusually brilliant talent, even if the application of his skills leaves much to be desired. Irabeth scowls. Why is he trying to provoke the Queen? Who knows? It could be some family matter. the Count is Her Majesty's cousin twice removed or something like that. I think he simply enjoys infuriating people. Crusaders and Iomede's servants especially. Well, I appreciate you telling me this. My pleasure. I'm sorry you had to endure my grumbling. Watching all these things happen to my city has put me in a foul mood. Okay, and so, we now get to talk to... I don't think we get to... Yeah, we don't get to talk to Mr. Ed. Not Camellia. And of course, we checked last episode, this guy still does not have any cheap potions for purchase. I do need to see if I can go back underground. I did send... What is there? I did send the mongrels back when we came across them in the market square. So I do need to go and see if I can actually get back underground. I don't believe for a second that I can. So that's a thing. Anyway. Oh, the Defender's Heart is a splendid choice for the Crusaders' outpost. The very sight of these walls brings back fond memories of drinks and revels. The drinks were really good, by the way. People say that you're deliberately trying Queen Galfrey's patience. Is it true? Does it even matter? All of Mendevian high society has declared war on me. They either despise me or they're trying to or they're trying to steer me back onto the right path, and I'm doing everything in my power to keep them on their toes. I relish the prospect of all the fun this mess in Kennebrez will bring. Dayrine grins from ear to ear. I shall either commission a song about the great Kennebrez fiasco from a certain talented bard, or confuse the jewelers with a rather tall order, a batch of silver dragon toys with detachable heads. Give me a week and they will be in every shop in the capital. Look. She literally... It was literally a perfect JoJo moment. She approached Deskari. She lost her head. Maybe she shouldn't have. I'm not for any of these answers. She died like a trash mob. She literally walked up and dropped dead. I don't respect that. She's supposed to be how many hundreds or even thousands of years old, and she just... No. I see. Thank you for your answer. You won't find a more honest and straightforward fellow than me. So, what made you join my party after all? You mean instead of carousing far away from Kennebrez with a small army of mercenaries to protect me? I'll get to that. You see, when you appeared at my door out of nowhere, awash with bravery and heroism, and started tossing demons around like ragdolls, I thought your company might be more exciting than my usual crowd of sycophantic hangers-on. You seemed competent and mysterious at the same time, so I decided that a little demon hunting wouldn't hurt, especially with such an intriguing entourage. That party had been growing staler with every passing second anyway. Needless to say, I'm not here for long. I'll return to the capital or even one of my country estates as soon as we reclaim the city. Crusades, bellowing commanders, row upon row of identical tents. This is not the life for me, but I will certainly remember you and our adventures together for a week, or perhaps even longer than that. But probably not. Let's see what we can learn about Dayrine. I asked him if I could ask him a couple of personal questions, and he said, you can try. So, what do you cherish most in life? Oh, there are far too many things that I cherish to fit them in all into a single conversation. Believe it or not, I might be one of the most life-loving people you'll ever know. Dayrine smiles. His eyes are gleaming with something different from his usual impudence and irony. There's a dreamy air about him all of a sudden. I rarely meet anyone who embraces the joys of living as enthusiastically as myself. There's so many exciting and beautiful things in the world, it should be illegal to waste your time on anything you do not enjoy. And I'm not afraid to repeat that to anyone's face, should it be Descari and his demonic horde, or Iomade and the Lightbringer herself. I said and the Lightbringer, but it's just Iomade, the Lightbringer herself. What do you hate the most? The feeling of helplessness. The lack of control over my own life. Dayran replies without thinking. Then he adds with obvious sarcasm. And onion rings, of course. I'd murder the person who came up with those abominations. Thank you, audio. We missed you. It just went out for like a split second, so it's fine. You don't seem especially keen on helping. You don't seem especially keen on helping people, but your knowledge of healing is truly impressive. What prompted your interest in that? If you really want to try out everything life has to offer, you also have to understand how to deal with the consequences, and I'm not talking about a simple hangover, mind you. So, do you have any good stories about your past exploits? I've got plenty, but I have to warn you that even the most outrageous debauchery sounds far less thrilling when you are not the one doing the debauching. Still, since you asked, I suppose the worst mess I've ever gotten myself into was when I staged my own kidnapping. I was once in correspondence with one of the Riverland's nobles, the young Lord Labata. Nope, it's Labetta. And he told me about his days as a hostage to a group of bandits. This made me wonder what it would be like, and I thought it might be fun to set up a little experiment. I engineered my own kidnapping by a certain gang through a chain of intermediaries and hired actors. Those fellows took the job very seriously. They caught me by surprise, killed 2 of my bodyguards, and even tied me up. Of course, the whole thing seems preposterous now, but it seemed like an ingenious idea at the time. The employers had told the kidnappers they were to keep me safe and sound, and another group of mercenaries in disguise was watching the spectacle from afar, ready to interfere in case anything went wrong. It turned out to be a terrible idea nonetheless. It wasn't the least bit fun or exciting. Sure, those bandits had been unable to torture or hurt me physically in any way, but they had plenty of other non-invasive methods of humiliation in their arsenal. Taking almost all of your clothes off and splashing ice-cold water all over you, for example. Ugh. I can't even remember if I said anything truly offensive to provoke them. Even though I initially planned to let them go after the ransom, their overly emotional reactions made me change my mind. I told my mercenaries to hang them all on the spot. I suppose the whole ordeal taught me a valuable lesson, which is that I am not built for hardships and trials. Oh. Wait. You just told me that a couple of your bodyguards died during the staged kidnapping. Does that mean 2 innocent people lost their lives so that you could have a bit of fun? Dayran pales a little, but not out of shame. Oh, spare me. It irks me beyond all measure when I hear about the suffering of innocents. He sighs, looks away, and continues in a flat, polite tone. Yes, the bodyguards died. Guarding nobles is a dangerous job. They were well aware of the risk. I don't really see a problem with that. Besides, they proved their incompetence. They would have stood no chance against real kidnappers. You know these games are going to come back to bite you sooner or later. I hope not. I enjoy myself, I enjoy my life, and I'd like to keep this going for as long as possible. So, that was a stupid story, and now I'll tell you a truly brilliant one. Prelate Holrun had always strictly prohibited any public celebrations in Kenabres, and he always picked on me for my lack of respect for the fallen and whatnot. His grumbling annoyed me so much one day that I drove 4 barges into the city harbor and set up a celebration on their decks. The ships on the river didn't fall under the prelate's jurisdiction, you see, so all he could do was snarl at me from the embankment. I, for one, did not forget the old boy. The main attraction of the festivities involved an Inquisitor of Iomade dancing and roasting beautiful witches on illusory bonfires, taking off his clothes with every new victim. The spectacle was so heated, in every sense of the word, that the prelate almost had a stroke. Dayran gives you a mischievous smile. I still consider that one of my finest ideas of all time. Whew. Should the Crusaders ever succeed in their efforts against the World Wound, I will do my utmost to get permission to hold a grand, public celebration. Rivers of wine, free of charge, an obligatory parade, and a carnival in the evening. A contest for the most provocative succubus costume with a hefty grand prize. Another contest where the participants have to fish a sausage out of a wine jar blindfolded with their hands tied behind their backs. The wine will symbolize the blood of all the dead heroes of the war, and the sausage, well, they'll find a heroic meaning for that as well. Over the years, the commemoration of the greatest victory of light over darkness will turn into an ordinary holiday. A fine excuse to get sloshed and rut like animals in the streets. So, let's see. I think, let's go ahead with this one. I've heard stories about the tragedy that befell your family. I do hope you don't feel obliged to offer me your insincere condolences on this unfortunate occasion. My whole family, my entire noble line, they all died, and the demons are to blame. It's not like I actually loved any of my relatives except for my mother, but what's gone is gone. The family crypts are full of corpses all covered in dust and the shadows of the past. I'm curious, do you enjoy being mean to absolutely everyone? Yes. And here I thought you were hurling insults at people purely by accident. Dayran laughs. This time his smile is surprisingly soft. I like your way with words. What did you expect me to say if I wanted to make a good impression? Something along the lines of, I'm not mean, I'm just being honest with myself and everyone else. That's what people use as an excuse when they want to keep up their saccharine facade, while still saying whatever nasty little thoughts spring to mind. That is not what I do. I do not have a hidden agenda. I am just as much of an insufferable prick as I seem to be. Some people are simply begging for a good dose of mockery, so who am I to deny them? I don't care if anyone holds a grudge against me, which is why I don't even try to avoid it. Well, I have no more questions. I hope this conversation was at least the slightest bit amusing. Can we talk about life in Mendev and the Crusade? Ask. I'm all ears. What's your opinion on Mendev today in general? It doesn't exist. Dayran scowls. It is a frontier country that has attracted every utopian, adventurer, and fanatic from all over the world for more than a century. It's a place where the strangers outnumber the locals, especially in the cemeteries. The population of Mendev, for the most part, consists of humans and other races not exactly known for their longevity, so the current generation of Mendevians were born in the shadow of the World Wound and raised by the Crusades. I might be the last person to complain about the decline of traditions and lack of character in our country, but I also happen to come from one of Mendev's most ancient lineages. Its history is bred deep in my bones. My tutors told me stories about my heritage. The galleries, libraries, and even the interiors of the manors I grew up in were filled to the brim with memories of events long past. There are many heroes of old Mendev among my glorious ancestors, or at the very least patrons and contemporaries of such heroes. But does anyone actually remember them now? I don't think so. These days Mendev has its own heroes, in shining armor with holy fire in their eyes. I myself remember how several streets that once celebrated my ancestors were renamed in honor of some crusaders who had died in a heroic fashion. None of the citizens remembered the old crossing festival, which was eventually replaced by Armas. These holidays even share the same date. Pretty much the only authentic thing about Mendev now is its endless war with the demons. And is there a point in bemoaning this state of affairs? What's gone is gone. But at least we're no longer some tiny god-forsaken northern kingdom. And that's something, isn't it? You really don't like Crusaders, do you? Quite the opposite. When I think about how many devoted heroes are willing to protect this world against the demonic threat, I feel so inspired. Inspired to continue indulging my vices while they fight to keep me safe. Imagine being someone like me, someone who has everything they can possibly desire: youth, beauty, wealth, an honest wish to live and enjoy living, but vanishingly few ways to put it all to any use. The fact that the word fun itself is not yet outlawed in Mendev must be due to some bureaucratic oversight. You can celebrate your victims solemnly, you can wet your whistle after a challenging battle, but what about real fun? Joys, pleasures? I can't remember a single evening at court without someone chastening me for my banquets, lovers, mistresses, luxuriant clothes, everything. It would have been a lot easier to tolerate all those hypocrites if they took a break once in a while. Instead, there was a constant fuss about how I wasn't doing anything for the greater good and how I only brought shame to my royal cousin. Well, what do you think of our enemies? Do you mean the demons themselves or their followers? The former deserve to be cleansed with heavenly fire for their unholy origin alone, and the latter for their idiocy. I don't understand why a sane person would submit themselves to Descario or Cabriri. Alright, Lady Nocticula almost seems like a bearable enough mistress, yet there's so many other cultists. They tried to recruit me twice already, and I'm not even that old. First, a pretty tiefling girl tried to seduce me, then they came with promises of Lord Baphomet's endless boons. I still wonder exactly what the old hornhead could offer me that I don't already have. You know what I've been thinking? Every shopkeeper knows this trick. An enticing offer along the lines of 1 in every 100 buns from my bakery contains a silver coin, and of course a hired actress to make a memorable show of finding said coin in her sweet roll, and there you have it. Hundreds of gullible fools storm the shop hoping to win a prize for themselves. I think the infamous Erelu Vorlesh was such an actress for the Lord of the Abyss, a petty Sarkorian witch who became the uncrowned queen of the Worldwound, waited upon hand and foot by demon lords, only instead of visiting a bakery, the gullible fools rushed to join the cultists. We have an army of unbelievably powerful supernatural invaders from another dimension, bent on destruction and domination, and what do those fools do? They serve them willingly as pawns and lackeys, hoping against hope that someday their masters will notice them. You won't believe how delighted I am to be so vain and self-absorbed. These sins protect me against demonic temptation better than any virtue. Well, I can't argue with that. He's definitely still here, partying it up, and I can't argue with that. I can't think of anything else at the moment either. Wonderful. Well, I should go. Toodaloo. Alright, so now that we've done all of the talking, I'm pretty sure I've taken care of shopping as well, as far as I can anyway. With Dayran, I'm not particularly worried about our potion and lack thereof problem. Again, he does have potions for sale. I'm just never going to buy them because they're obscenely expensive.
Godspeed.
What in the world is... Just so we're clear, I'm using GeForce Now to play this, and that is obviously an issue with GeForce Now. The audio falling out, that is. So the question is, where do we go now? I'm not worried about her. So apparently, according to the tooltip, a succubus can make your party members fight against you. Ancient trees and wonders. Pitaxian wine cellar. That is an absurd path Alright, the Pataxian wine cellar is the one that's supposed to be haunted, right? This is the library. Feud of the Faithful. Right. The Houndheart's camp. I don't remember where that is. I also don't think it's actually on this map right now. Yeah, it's definitely not on the map yet, so that's not a problem. So we've got Topaz Solutions. Okay, tell you what, let's handle something that's a little closer. And while I say that, again, this place has ghosts in it, which means we're going to need magic weapons. I'm mostly concerned about whether the ghosts will be dealing physical, magical damage, or if they're just going to be straight up shearing off our ability scores with each attack. But no way to know but to go. No thank you. Is everyone rested up? Let's check before we actually get too far from the tavern. Spellbook. Can't tell. Moving on. Hanged cultist. A corpse wearing the robe of a worshipper of Deskari hangs from a signpost. It's been here for a while, but the bag on its belt remains undamaged. You can procure some reagents for creating consumable items here. Sure. Okay, all of our backliners are... Oh, what was his initiative check? 21. Look at you. You know, that's going to get annoying. Let's move Morrow up. I can always swap his weapons out, but I need to keep these guys from moving up. So that these two can do their work. Sela was, of course, not on her horse. We'll leave. Oh, I also tried to respec Mr. Ed. I can't. So, unfortunately, the wasted levels I put into things like Dazzling Display, I can't undo. I'd have to respec Sela in order to do that, now that I think about it. I might do that after I'm done recording today. Maybe. Also, I'm going to leave Mr. Ed out so he can do some good work. I also have not, what the frick is this? Staggered. Alright, that's because of... yeah. Alright. But as I was trying to say, I cannot... wait, I want to make sure I know what... calm down, buddy. Is unable to see well because of overstimulation of the eyes and takes a penalty on attack rolls and sight-based perception checks. The attack rolls being the only thing relevant here. A line weapon. Yeah, so having this is going to be huge. This is why I got this in with his previous level. Or with one of them anyway. Since he was, I think, 2 levels behind. So, hopefully I can use this to bypass the ghost's immunity to physical attacks. Hopefully. You know? Otherwise we can't deal with them. Because the only person that actually can attack ghosts is Camellia with her ability.
I will see to your demise.
I don't know about that.
Cover me, all right?
Oh good, they're just doing straight damage and not ability score damage. I am overjoyed. This one also has its armor class reduced, making it an easy target.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Oh, I also spent some time, that guy exploded into guts. I also spent some time cleaning up everyone's, well, ability bars. You can see it's all nice and neat according to what I need. Attacks go first, then heals, then buffs, then self-buffs, then debuffs. That goes for everyone. Also, get on the horse. Today, preferably. There it is. I was looking at WotR.
Who, me?
Yeah, you. Yeah, okay. This is fine. So, let's go ahead and get this loot. We can skip this. A lost bag. And I'll tell you what, we'll hit the library on the way back. How about that? Come on. Alright, first we quick save, then we hard save. Because again, it is probably a very bad idea to be here. Also, we have the issue of, well, ghosts being, you know, invisible.
Trust in yourself.
I don't think she has see invisibility, but I might have a scroll for that. Maybe.
Watch and learn.
Okay, so here we have some whites. They're immune to mind effects, which means putting them to sleep is out, but they can be rendered prone, which is to my advantage. I'll have WotR go around and... what is their perception like? We have a white and a Cairn white. both immune to the same things. Somehow they are lawful evil. Oh my god, they are also level 9. And this guy's armor class is 20. Ooh, we have to strike him first, without question. So, we're going to go with Vital Strike. And this, because they're in the dark,
Do not.
he's gone. 37 damage and he just disappears. So there is that at least. There was no damage reduction either, so that's very good news. Everyone likes that. I don't know. Pretty sure these guys attack melee. So there is that. I also have no idea what's beyond here, so I need to be careful. I don't want to get anyone else drawn into this. Woljif does have a bow. We'll just wait here, where it's nice and safe. Same deal, we'll put this on Sealer though. And we have Dayran. We'll move him up some. Right. Swap to melee.
Do not hold back.
Missy, missy. I didn't expect the guy to make it all the way over here, much less to come around this end. Even though it was Lan who struck first, which means they would come after him. Seela, if you don't mind. Ooh, for a beautiful 23 damage. He gets slashed and, well, bitten. I really need to respect Mr. Ed because he's not getting the attack bonuses. And he won't get them unless he actually gets to attack without Seal on his back. But anyway.
Surrender or else.
Alright. Let's get him. It says he's not threatened, but I don't believe that for a second. So just walk calmly out of range. Cancel this. And then if you don't mind.
You won't survive me.
Beautiful. EA beautiful. I could use heal on this or the other. Frick is this? Blessing of Courage and Life. Right. Oh, right. I added these things after we ended the video. Right. We ended the video in the market square after having come out of what was once the Temple of Desna. Okay. Yeah. So I didn't get the opportunity to go over what we got for him, and I no longer remember, so here we are. Instead of having him waste any casts, we're just going to do this.
And grace.
Ah. Regrettable. Oh, there are... Oh my god, he hit Morrow for 21 damage. And afflicted with negative Are you freaking kidding me? It's temporary, though.
Strike as one.
It's the weapon. God dang it. It's his weapon, Icebreaker. Great. That's a free action. I don't know if I'll actually be able to put that to use. He made a fortitude save against getting stunned by the sword. Well, his life is done.
Distract them for me.
Sela, if you would be so kind.
The light. Take you.
15 damage on Mr. Ed's attack with a bite. That is gross. You don't want that in your mouth. These guys aren't affected by mind abilities, so... Ooh, she has to get into range, though, and I can't move her back after. So, let's say we move her here, and then do it. Nice, right? Now we have land. These guys just have normal old long swords. And since this guy's almost dead anyway... God, land is so good now. And I guess we'll use this right. We also have Cure Moderate Wounds because this guy is basically going to be our heal bot. As well as a provider of smarmy comments and jokes and jests. Could you kindly not... What is wrong with these things? It wasn't the freaking weapon, it's just what they do.
We shall overcome.
Thanks for nothing.
Time to share your treasures.
He made a reflex save. Unfortunate. But his armor class has been reduced. Ooh, and it's a Karen, right? So yeah, his armor class was originally 20. Good. Now he's a victim. Thanks for missing, Ciela. Just going to go... yeah, we're just going to go ahead and get out of here. Uncool. Focus on healing instead.
Yes.
Make every strike count.
Really? That's what we like to see. Miss for daddy.
Do not hold back.
Not you, Morrow.
Cover me, all right?
Beautiful. So, we have the magical weapon Battle Axe, which has an enhancement at the very least. It may have more, but I doubt it. And so, Ember now has 2 negative levels. Wonderful, we like that. Negative levels. And Dayran does not have lesser restoration. The only one who does is Camellia. Great. Anyway. And the other guy who I exploded. Yeah, so we can't let ourselves get hit by these things at all. I'll have to remember to have Morrow dazzle them. What, is that it? Perception check failed.
That is
There it
quite a
is.
discovery.
Oh. Oh, you shouldn't have. It's two-handed, which is not that good, but... Ooh. Ooh, its name is Tempest. Let's see what it does. As well as that other one we picked up. Here we go. Icebreaker. Ooh, whenever this +1 cold iron battle axe confirms a critical hit, keep in mind it's also a one-handed weapon, so... Nice. All creatures in a 10-foot area have a chance to make a successful reflex throw or suffer. It hits everything in the area for cold damage up to 18 points. Yeah, just gonna go on ahead and put that right there. Yeah, let's go ahead and inject that directly into her veins. Now, we have an orc double axe. Deals pretty good damage, but it's also a two-handed weapon, so there's that. This +1 cold iron orc double axe deals an additional 1 cold damage with one end, and 1 sonic damage with the other. And then we also got this from one of the demons at the party that we crashed last episode. But its effect only occurs when you land a crit. Yeah, I like the sword's effect better. I don't think we need to rest. I don't want them to have negative levels. Yeah, it's only going to last 23 hours, but... let's make sure we don't miss any other perception checks on the way out. Over here? No. Okay, we got some pretty nice stuff. And now, as promised, we head off to the Blackwing Library after we quick save. Well, I'm not entirely sure if it's Caleb or Chaleb. Ooh. We noticed a thing. Mr. Ed succeeded with a perception check. Anyway, let's see what this loot is. Terendelev, the Guardian of Kennebrez, and now Headless. The Varisian Horror. Guino Pollen, notes from my travels in northern Avistan. Oh, scroll of reduced person, these, and padded armor. It's unidentified, so let's fix that. And then see what it's all about. Do you have anything of value to offer? That's not really useful. Wait, is that armor or clothing? Yeah, it's light armor. Had to be certain. Can't wear the adamantine chainmail because it's way too cool for school. She can, but it would cause a significant loss of her armor class. He can wear it. It's just silly. There's no reason whatsoever he should be able to wear that. The great library of Kennebres has been ravaged and wrecked in the most barbaric way. It seems that someone took perverse pleasure in smashing lamps and furniture and tearing pages out of books. Ah, the We Hate to Read Brigade has been through here. Well, if I can't throw it, I don't care. It's also a monk weapon and it's light, but it also has no reason to come with me. Just gonna take these and leave you to it. There's also a trash can. A barrel of flammable alchemical substance. Ah, I see how this is going to go. Alright. Let's talk. Great. This is going to go exactly like I thought it would. A stocky knight with a head of messy black hair stands before you. His armor is spattered with blood. He greets you with a deep, booming voice. The hefty crusader smiles merrily, paying no heed to the blood-curdling shrieks coming from the pyre, and the acrid smell of burning flesh. Aha! They burn well, don't they? Cursed traitors, WeArEuS minions. These vermin infiltrated the Crusader forces and aided the demons from inside the city, but I caught them. I am Captain Caleb Sazumal, and these men are my subordinates. A strange feeling rises up within you. It is pure instinct. You don't know what you're about to do, but you're certain that it is right. We take a closer look at the ruthless Crusader. When we succeed at the perception check, Caleb is talking too loudly, all while casting sidelong looks at you. You've seen similar behavioral quirks before in liars. Also, while we're at it, we decide to examine the Crusader's armors and the symbols on it. And we succeed at a lore religion check, allowing us to notice that the emblems on the armor of the two silent Crusaders belong to the Order of the Flaming Lance, but Caleb's armor bears the sigil of the Order of the Sunrise Sword. Strange then that he'd introduced himself as their captain. Something's not right here. Give in to the strange instinct. Put out those flames. I order you in the name of, Baphomet. The words fly out of your mouth before you can even think them. Some gut instinct told you that this is precisely what needs to be said in this moment, and the words hit their target. The Crusaders jump in surprise and look at each other in terror. The corner of Dayran's mouth are twitching, like he's struggling with all his might not to burst out laughing. Woldriff glares menacingly at Caleb. Didn't you know, mortal? We're everywhere. Sir, we didn't know you were one of us. You heard him. Put out the flames. Cuffing his lackeys round the head, Caleb herds them straight towards the fire. All three of them tries to put out the flames, showing no concern for their own safety. An inexplicable feeling of rightness flows through you. You enjoy seeing the look of oafish terror on the faces of the Crusaders and his lackeys, and you rebuke them for their fecklessness. Quickly, you worms. If you keep dawdling, I'll throw you into the furnace at the Great Garrison. Just gonna... Caleb grunts in wordless terror and desperately fights the flames. Every so often, he sends murderous looks at his associates, whom he has clearly already condemned to death. You blithering idiots, cack-handed dimwits, you empty suits of armor. You watch in satisfaction as Caleb and his two lackeys rush to put out the alchemist's fire. Their armor becomes covered in soot and welts rise on their skin from the flames. Succumbing to another strange oratorical impulse, you chivvy them along with barked orders and florid invective. Whoever doesn't pull his weight is a dead man. I'll take the other two into Baphomet's forces. With a wary look in your direction, Caleb abandons his own attempts to quell the flames and turns his focus to thumping and kicking his subordinates to hurry them along. The method proves surprisingly effective, and the flames begin to dwindle. Listen to your guts. Stop wasting valuable fuel. If you like burning books, go rig the Great Garrison Library. Our enemies might try to sneak in there. I don't know about that one, actually, now that I hear it out loud. I don't know. Remember, we need to find a way to sneak into the Great Garrison, but if the library is actually the way in, and we have them burn it, however, it could also serve as a distraction. Yeah, we'll do it. Daran looks at you with amused curiosity and speaks in a soft voice. I do enjoy your sense of humor. It's quite fiery. Instead, we decide to say nothing. There's plenty more where that came from, sir. I'll do everything you've ordered, and just as soon as those Crusaders arrive, they'll be dead meat. I'll go make sure that we get make it another 2 barrels of alchemist's fire from the Great Garrison storeroom. Things are going to burn right up in there. A blind elf stands before you. He looks extremely strange. His face wears its years heavily, which is unusual for members of his race. Thinning gray hair, a ragged beard, sightless milky eyes, pale papery skin, covered in age spots, a spine curved by the passage of time. This is not how elves typically age. The youth that graces the faces of elves, even on their deathbed, has totally abandoned this decrepit specimen. The old elf holds out his hand in your direction in the perennial gesture of the blind, greeting you with an unexpectedly strong and calm voice. Hello. I am Storyteller, and I wish to thank my rescuers, that is, you, if I'm not mistaken. Storyteller? Ha! That's the first time I've ever heard of a venerable old-timer like that having a street name. Sometimes a person can lose their name, but Mama and Papa are gone, friends are gone, and there's nobody to ask what it was, so instead of their name, a person can pick any word that is good. Everybody has to have a name. Or do they? I don't know. How is it you didn't burn in the fire? To tell the truth, I myself do not know. I felt the heat. It was so strong. I waited for the pain, the burning, but I was unscathed. But the smoke did nearly finish me off. It may be some form of magical protection against fire, but I don't know by what means I may have acquired it. Just another oddity from my collection of the inexplicable. Gloom steals across the storyteller's pensive face. I want to talk to you about something. The old elf responds with dignity and courtesy, but firmly. In thanks for my rescue, I will of course render you a service in turn, whatever it might be. However, at this moment I wish to be somewhere safer than the present surroundings. My recent adventures have fatigued me greatly. I would be grateful if you could help me to a safe shelter of some kind. The stubborn set of the elf's mouth tells you he won't change his mind. Typical. You do someone a good turn, and instead of saying thank you, they just ask for more help. Go easy on the old elf. He's had a rough go of it. Yeah, because we've had it so easy. Alright, I'll take you to the Defender's Heart. Please accept my sincere thanks once again, and if I may, please don't rush. I will struggle to keep up with your young legs. Not yet.
I was successful in my search.
I've got a lot
We march ahead.
of extra stuff to look at. Mr. Ed failed a perception check. That means there's something of
I will help where I can.
interest over here. How did Of course he failed the perception check. He's missing a goddamn level. Her perception isn't that good. His is. I don't know what they're missing, but they're missing it. And land. Oh, that's not land. Knowledge of Arcana. Difficulty check of 24.
Just don't blame me.
It fails. The enormous black rift cuts the library in half. It goes so deep that one can only wonder who could have possibly wreaked such destruction, and how. Isn't that obvious? To me, it seems that it might be obvious. So we've got loot here, stunning barrier.
Our path leads on.
Full plate. Okay.
Might be trap, might be treasure.
The keen edge of truth, recollections and admonitions of an inquisitor of Asmodeus. Without a shadow of a doubt, expecting nothing in return, the life and feats of Lord Axelar Tresbot. What is this? How to make money during the war against demons. Okay. The bookcase is full of text describing demons and methods of fighting them. Regrettably, all this knowledge wasn't enough to save Kennebrez from the spawn of the Abyss.
I will guide us.
There's something over here nobody can... So everyone failed the perception check. Tehran, Morrow, Woljif, Ember, Lan, Mr. Ed, Sierra, Sela.
Godspeed.
Okay. So I guess that's it then. And again, Nenio has removed bite.
Let us press on.
I am confused and concerned. We also have a full plate of armor that I don't actually want. And I can't use Camellia's ability until... Why are these swords in... Okay, that's sort of... Yeah, I remember now. I can't use Camellia's Lesser Restoration until we actually leave. I need to get these negative levels off of
I
them.
hope this war at least teaches you how to talk to get along with your comrades in arms. I think we've got a decent party here, and you could find yourself some friends.
I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to kill.
Well, at least she was honest. Alright. Wiped clean. They're nice and safe now. We are not going to talk to the storyteller because that is going to push us further forward in the story. We don't want to do that yet because we've got a number of things left to do. We've got this. We need to go out and scout the Tower of Estrad. Let's go ahead and do that.
We march ahead.
I don't know what's going on with this here because, according to memory, Ramian is dead. I don't know. At least I don't remember if that wasn't Ramian that Holrun killed in the market square when we first met him. I have no idea who Ramian is. Okay, so the first thing we do... Wait. What? It's... I don't understand. Alright, let's do this. Dead duelists. A knight and a cultist died together here, piercing each other fatally with swords. Their remains are mangled and their weapons and armor are destroyed, but something in their bag survived the conflict. You can procure some reagents for creating consumable items here. I do want to get to the Tower of Estrad. So let's do that. I did say I was going to do that when we first left, so let's follow through on that. Now, it said up here, purge the demons from the tower, but our instructions were very clear. We were only to scout, not actually try to, well... Excuse me? Kennebrest burns, the city that should never have fallen. Fate shows no mercy. Clouds may veil the stars, but nothing can hide the light in someone's soul, and I see this light in you. We will stand shoulder to shoulder with you against evil. I hear the echo of a familiar voice. I feel the warmth of my kindred flame. My brother, we will help you. Vision of Targona uses the ability Angelic Aspect. Vision of the Heralds. Okay.
No reason to pause.
Last 30 minutes. So, first things first, Sela, if you don't mind. Horse. Nice job. Okay. Let's quick save because this could easily go sideways. Servants of the Abyss, you entered the House of Memory with evil in your souls. Soon you will be but a memory. Locked from inside. What?
This war must end.
None will escape my all-seeing eye. Inquisitor Hullrun fights a shadow demon that he exorcised from a soldier's body. Crusader Queen. A copy of the famous embossed bas relief originally created by Master Derek Sunhammer. Young Queen Galfrey is portrayed personally leading her crusaders into battle on the 1st of Abadius 4624 during the First Crusade. I can't do anything here. Among the cloudy colossi, in this picture, the two angels, Targona and Lariel, are chasing and fighting a deadly Vrolakai demon in the air several miles above the world wound. More details in the museum almanac. So I'm confused. Well, I already quick saved, so even if we do lose the buff, what can you do? There has to be something we're missing, right?
Smile, the world's not ending just yet.
Together, we stand. A bright future
Oh, come
awaits
on.
us. Rely on me.
Ah. The red-skinned, long-haired tiefling raises his pain-filled eyes to you. A huge magical brand stands out on his chest, freshly burned into his skin. The flesh around the brand is inflamed and has an unhealthy-looking hue. Hey! Stop! Who are you? Crusaders. Well. I was looking to add a couple more Crusader heads to my collection and all. Why just assume we're Crusaders, though? Where'd you get that idea, huh? I mean, do we look like Crusaders? Oh, right. The tiefling notices the sacred symbol of Iomedae gleaming on the paladin's chest and sighs. I suppose that explains it. There's nothing for me to do here. I'm leaving. Actually, I can definitely kill these guys. Easy peasy. He says, not knowing any of their levels or anything. I do want to go for the intimidation check. But if they run, then I can't search their bodies for loot. What to do? XP? Loot? Well, if I kill them, I get XP anyway. I wonder... I succeeded, and just like I had been hoping, it just cut down the number of enemies, and I still get to fight the big bad and loot his, well, freshly slain corpse once I'm through with him. Where if I saw someone running around here. Succeeded at an intimidate check. It seems that Kylus took all the most intimidating and bloodthirsty warriors with him. Only the cowardly rabble have remained behind with Faxon. Half of them quickly turned to flee the tower, with Faxon's rebuking profanities following them as they go. I can kill you right now, or I can give you a few more minutes of life, if you answer my questions. The tiefling shoots you a vicious grin. You won't be getting out of here alive either way, so why not? Let's have a chat. See, things like this shouldn't even pop up until you've actually been prompted. Who are you? You don't look like a museum worker. I am Faxon, servant of Baphomet, the ranking member of the Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth in this city, and new master of this tower. And you'd better watch your mouth, or else my curses will rip your soul to flaming shreds. Faxon, the tiefling. The Azamar raises his eyebrows. Why, I remember you. You're that little clerk from the town hall, the one who kept badgering me for a bribe to get rid of some bill or other. Well, you turning out to be the leader of a cultist group is definitive proof of something we all know to be true. All bureaucrats are the spawn of the abyss. You arrogant celestial pawn! Do you see now? We're everywhere. You look down your nose at Faxon the clerk, now you will bow before Faxon the overlord. I'll repeat what I said to you in the town hall that day. I don't deal with parasites. You look awful. What's wrong with your tattoo? The tiefling gives you a hateful glare. Lady Minago was displeased with me. She branded me with this rune to make me suffer. Minago wanted me to subjugate the demons of our ally, Deskari, to wrest control away from that idiot Kylus. But I failed. But it seems my luck is turning. You don't look like rank-and-file crusaders. When I bring Minago your heads, all will be forgiven and she'll remove this brand. Now, despite me having no prior knowledge or any prompting whatsoever to ask this question, what did you forget in the museum? For the last 3 months, this tower has served as a cover for me and my servants. I set up my base in the cellar of the local museum and smuggled an entire regiment of my Templars into the city. It's the ideal place for a secret hideout. The museum was left in charge of a doddering old man who can hardly remember his own name. When our lord struck Kennebrez, we plunged a blade into the Crusader's back, and a glorious fight it was. Now, Lord Xanthier has ordered us to strip Kennebrez of everything that might be of interest to him and remove it from the city. He's a great master of the occult and magical arts, and this museum is chock full of all kinds of relics that could prove very, very interesting to study. That information does nothing for me, so you die now. Vaxon's eyes narrow in fury, and he shrieks, releases a feral shriek that sets his gang slavering for your blood. The demons and Templars give answering howls to their leader and surge forward to attack. You know, the demons and Templars that totally abandoned the guy. Hey yourself, buddy. Huh. Oh, there we go. There's a person. Abracandaloo. Oh. He's going to try and backdoor us, is he? What if instead we all retreated? Actually, I could send him all the way back here. He can't get a shot on him. What a shame. So, I'll spend a turn doing this. And put him here. I'm going to lure them all to me. But I don't know what magic this guy might have that could end up screwing us. We've got Misfortune, Cackle, which is familiar, Hex, Slumber, that's going to be a problem. Doesn't have anything AoE that we really need to worry about. Slumber is a single target spell, so if I kill him before he gets too close, he can't use it. As I said, we're going to go ahead and move as far back as we can. Okay. I'm okay with burning spells here, but I'll wait on using that for now. Actually, yeah, I want to cast Entangle so that it covers this area past here. That way we get land, free opportunities at making everyone's life an absolute nightmare by one or two shotting them. But activate that while I'm thinking about it, and that's it. I can't cast Entangle right now. That would leave everyone at a massive disadvantage. What is he? Okay, so he's only got some energy resistance, which isn't going to help him. He needs sleep resistance, otherwise he's in danger. But again, for now, I need to get everyone into... He is still staggered. That could get him killed. Okay, first things first. Sneak attack for 30 damage. Good job. And he's out of there. Why is this not available? Oh, because she attacked and it requires a standard action. So we'll do this. Quiet down over there. We'll move WotR up. Actually, who is this? Another Ambercandaloo. I don't want him on the edge of the pit. Nope, too close. I like this. And just like that, he is now in the hole. Better still, everyone's life has become a nightmare. And he's in the pit. And so is the little demon. Everything's coming up daisies. So, for now, we'll cast this. How much longer do we have on this one? 26 minutes, so that's fine. Perfect and fine and wonderful. Cast that on him. We just need to get him out of there. Right back into the pit. Unfortunately, it dealt 0 damage to the dretch. Since we only get 1 shot on this guy anyway. Actually, we could turn this off. And then we get 2 shots.
You've crossed the wrong mark.
5, he dealt 6 and a total of 16 damage. Seela continues to wait around, wondering where her enemies are. This is fine. Perfectly normal and fine. Can we challenge? No, he's not even... These guys are not doing so hot, are they? They're failing the strength check to get out of the pit. Oh, even once they do, they've got to deal with the entanglement roots, which means then they may end up stuck on the edge of the pit and drawn back into it again. Okay. God, I have no idea what to do. Oh my God. Falling into the pit killed it. Oh, that is so good. Okay, Seela's turn. We're going to pass on. Next, to make matters so much worse, we get a little greasy. Now, for Morrow, we get a little greasy. Abercandaloo fell on his face, just like we like it. Now, what do we want? Can we get her in range? There's no one to even target. they're pretty badly stuck in there.
Too late for apologies.
0 damage, good enough. You tried. No one needs healing. No one needs... Actually, I could use weapon alignment to reduce... To undo the... Well, to ignore the damage reduction the Abracandabus enjoy. That'll have to wait until next turn, though. 21 damage, although it was reduced, dealt to the Abracandaloo by Lan, who is a freaking monster. Meanwhile, there are people in the pit failing their strength checks. And mobility checks. And Seela just gets to wait, looking threatening, as always. Well, no she doesn't. Also, we can produce a web right here because I'm an absolute freaking monster. I'm an awful person. These guys are not going to be having fun. So what else can we do? This thing enjoys... Oh yeah, we can... Is anyone out of the pit yet? No, they're still in there. They're just waiting to get their turns, that's all. While I'm thinking about it, put another separate pit of grease here. So they have to make 2 checks. Well, 3 checks. They have to check out of the... This is gross. They have to get the mobility and strength check to get out of the pit. Then they have to get the check to escape the web. If they can do that, they can get out of the range of the pit. Maybe, considering the entanglement, which they have to roll against to maintain their normal mobility. Then they have to roll again to avoid the grease check. Oh my god, this is... Oh, that is disgusting. Can't do anything with him this turn now, so it is her turn.
I'll hit you.
Make short work of this.
Yeah, no. And then the second one hits. Because all you need to do sometimes is just believe. Unfortunately, the enemy does not appear to be having fun at all. He escaped. Okay.
I'm all ears.
This.
I won't let you hurt my friends.
You don't reduce damage tomorrow. Super unfortunate for him. He resists energy, which is fine. All I want is something to keep him where he is. He's not resistant to slumber. So will he take a nap? Unfortunately not. But he has fallen in the grease. We like that. What else can we do to make this guy's life a nightmare? Hit him with the Yeah, I hit him with a snowball. So, Lan, if you don't mind. 39 damage dealt to Faxon by Lan. We're going to go ahead and turn this on. Add a perfect strike for his next turn. For Seela, she's just going to wait, looking menacing. Of course, I'm also going to cast this on Faxon. So now, he's going to be a little sick if he doesn't attack her. We'll use this. Align good. We'll go with lawful for Lan. Now for Morrow. Oh, right. We can also do this. Keep in mind, I'm about to use Stonecrawl. Keep in mind, this creates difficult terrain after its effect. Oh my god, the area of effect on this is way larger than I had expected. Oh, wow. Look, I called him the orator of the world to make the best of a bad situation. But my god, he is capable of some really disgusting AoE control and damage. Like, wow. Unfortunately, that's just not an option though. Only because the elemental's there and he missed. Oh, the pit's gone. Good, good, good. Let's see if we can get her close enough to cast. Is this the one that jumps to a nearby target? Yeah. He resists some fire damage. Oh my god. Did we kill him? I couldn't even see the damage she dealt. Faxon was still, oh, well, no, Lan hit him for like 30 something. He shouldn't have been that low. And I could have sworn it said she dealt 0 damage to Faxon right before all of this came up. Okay. I'm going to delay trying to get my head around that. And we're going to deal with what's ahead of us right now. The translucent silhouette of a winged female warrior glows softly. You brought us back to waking. Greetings. Who are you? Not who. What? Memories. This place was created as a cradle of memory and fantasy. The things that belonged to the city's heroes were kept here. People used to come to this place to remember those heroes, and myself and the others are living memories. You woke us, so here we are. Lots of things seem silent only until you care to listen to them. Like here, someone's memory has awoken to reveal itself to us. Yes, little one, and I have no doubt that the birds in the streets converse with you too, and the trees and the flowers, and even certain lampposts. And I'm sure this occurs regularly. For me, alas, such wonders only occur after a week-long bacchanalia, and the conversations don't go very far. I used to come here when the mood took me. The exhibits here are meager, no doubt, and cannot compete with the museums in the capital, but all the same, I find this place to be a calming refuge away from the bustling cities. So, your memories of who? Of the heroes the city wished to immortalize. Go. Touch a memory. See how they remembered us. After all, this place was created so that our names would never disappear into the mists of history. There used to be a place like this near Neathholm. Land size. Quiet, calm. I used to walk among the plinths and pedestals wondering. The people who founded the place, what was driving them? Were they thinking about future generations, how to pass down their wisdom and show the right path? Or were they thinking of themselves, trying to keep their names and deeds alive? But then the ceiling collapsed and that place didn't exist anymore, so my question was moot. I wish I could say we have not dishonored your memory, but Kennebrez lies in ruins, and But you fearlessly battled the invaders with no thought for yourself. You've earned no censure. We are proud of you. Right. In the olden days, mortal kind lost to the demons time after time after time, and now their descendants are continuing their losing streak. How could they not be proud of that? So, why did you help me? A soft smile appears on the woman's face. I sensed something in you. As if you are close to me somehow, like we stood shoulder to shoulder once in the face of evil, and that we must do so again. I sense that light dwells within you. Very recently you were threatened by a powerful demon, and a dark bloodlust tried to enslave your soul, but you opposed it and held fast. Continue to follow the path of light, and other righteous souls will aid you and follow you. Farewell, Vision. Farewell. The power that gives us this semblance of life is running out, and soon we will once again be but memories, living only in words and pictures and songs. Well, we've got a mess to clean up. Oh, what the frick?
Something wrong.
Apparently the acid that how did he die? Okay, first let's clean this area up. Because this thing's rolling for its... Wait. Yeah, this thing and her rolling for saves is putting the information I need to see further up. So WotR needs to clean his mess. So does Morrow.
Together we stand.
And then we do it again. Morrow cleaned his grease up, and so did he.
These magics should be used in other ways.
Right.
Don't mind me.
Okay. So now we need to go up and see what exactly happened. Yeah, so again, the damage that he took, that was reduced to 0. I don't know why. He just took no damage from it. Anyway, the damage I want to see is what was dealt by Ember to Faxon. Jeez, that's a decent amount of XP, if I do say so myself. Okay, so first off, wow, she dealt 17 damage, high rolled the absolute frick out of him, and then that attack bounced over to the Templar. So yeah, Faxon got absolutely dookied on. Seems fair. Demons don't have anything. Let me turn this off so we can stop seeing them. He has what is a heavy mace. I saw it was flaming, so that should be part of it as well. And Scroll of Unbreakable Heart. Junk and... worth selling. Before we go any further... Yeah, so this is just a thing that doesn't actually do anything. It's just there. Okay, everyone's selected, so let's finally go through here and see what's up. Alright, I need to move this back down. I did not expect her to hit Faxon hard enough to blow him up. Wait, speaking of Faxon, I didn't expect her to hit him hard enough to blow him the frick up. And then, Roasty Toasty, yeah, it deals an additional 1 to 3 fire damage on hit. What is Morrow's current weapon? This one requires a saving throw, but this one doesn't. It's not cold iron though, so there is that. But he can make his weapons magic, so they don't need to be cold iron anymore. And just like that, the World Orator now has a flaming hammer. Or mace. It's not really a hammer. Oh great, he is encumbered because of this. I could take this off and he'd be fine. Then he just gets dunked on by anyone that decides to hit him because his armor class is so low. Could go with this, but this also weighs 10. Oh, it's better. Not bad. Okay, so what else is there to be seen in here? There's a mobility check. And there's a door. And stairs that go nowhere.
Can't hide from me.
The frick? Why were these... Oh, right. We don't have anyone very high in trickery, do we? Character... very low. Definitely not her. Very not... Yeah, he'll do. Oh, thank goodness we still have WotR.
I'm here. Where else would I be?
Rude?
This is my kind of work.
Good thing, too. We made their lives an absolute nightmare in that fight, didn't we? They lost a dredge to the pitfall trap, or to the magical pit, which, I have to be honest, that was a wonderful time. They were out of combat for so long that it literally ended the fight. Oh, that is so much fun. And of course, then Faxon gets out, and the first thing he does is absolutely nothing. We like that.
Godspeed.
His magic dealt absolutely no damage to Morrow. Push the column. Do we have anyone with athletics? Yeah, we do. Let's get Sela off the horse. The horse has high athletics. What happens when we do this? Wait. Nope, 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 nope. Not you. Like I said. Horse for the win. I've got nothing. I guess someone in stealth could have come along this way, I guess. There have been no perception checks.
Well, hello there.
Buckler. I could give this to Morrow. It's got an enhancement +1. Increases arcane spell failure chance. But that's fine. Oh, yeah, that's really good. So here we can push the column, but I'm guessing it rolls this way. I would much rather that everyone was not in the path of it. Let's put them all over here, and then we do this. And that would have killed one more minion here.
Let us press on.
And then there's the mobility check to jump across. So stealth was an option, apparently. But not with Seela heading in first. The jingle-jangle of her footsteps rings out even in the enemy's wildest dreams. So we'll go this way, head through the door, and see why there's a blood streak this way. Okay, that took long enough. We're going to have to be careful going forward. No perception checks. We enter stealth.
Oh, quiet now?
Yeah.
But how will they know I've arrived?
Daran is the best. The absolute worst. But because of that, he's the best. Angels. Almanac of the Tower of Estrad Museum. Wooden plate, herb liquor. We could rest here and then continue forward, but I want to make sure that there's nothing this way.
We march ahead.
A pale and frightened half-elf looks at you warily. His face is twisted into a grimace like he just ate something slimy. Hey, who are you? Praise Baphomet. What are you doing here? Did Faxon send you? I heard a noise outside, but I was busy making a list of the relics. Did something happen? Well, he just told us what he was doing. Who are you? I am Telmer, the scribe and senior aide to Lord Xanthier, the Plagued One, and do forgive me, but Faxon has been assigned to this command, has he not? Where is he? Even though we know what he was doing here, maybe we can get some further details on why he was doing it. I'm compiling a list of valuable Crusader artifacts. Lord Xanthier has ordered that everything of use should be transported from Kenabres and saved from the looting and destruction. We chose the museum as the place to collect and sort through the trophies. Unfortunately, the local thieves have proved even quicker off the mark than the demons. They ransacked the museum in the first few hours of the assault, but there are some objects of interest among the exhibits they left behind. The museum custodian has been kind enough to advise me on those. But where's Faxon? Woljev sniggers. Ha! Finest thieves in Mendev. Turn your back and everything that is a nail to the floor will be gone when you turn around again. The demons have no chance against him. Masters of our trade we are. There you go bragging again, dummy. Thieving has never led to anything but harm, trust me. If you fought the way you thieve, now that might be useful. I mean, she speaks like she hasn't seen him blow up a guy in 2 hits. Or done it herself, for that matter. No thanks. Every person has their calling, and this is mine. But imagine if you fought as well as we thieve. So, where's the museum custodian? Over in the gallery. I deceived him. I told him I was a crusader. It wasn't difficult. The old geezer is out of his mind. So, where's Faxon? He appears to not have anything worth actually killing him for. But he is named, so he might have something interesting. You've got to go, kid. The half-elf leaps back nimbly, pulling a sheaf of papers from his bag as he goes. No, I have valuable letters from Lord Xanthier here. I must destroy them. The cultist balls the pages up in his fists and shoves them into his mouth and begins furiously chewing like a hamster. A moment later, the half-elf's eyes bulge and he opens his mouth, which is stuffed with masticated paper. He tries to cough, but nothing comes out. The failed saboteur looks at you in desperation. His eyes are streaming, his face is growing paler by the second, and he falls to his knees. A strangled wheeze emerges from behind the wad of wet paper. His expressions veer from the hilarious to the grotesque as he tries to signal you for help. Want some salt or pepper with that? Now, I've never tried eating paper myself, but a little seasoning goes a long way, whatever the meal. Confiture. Perfect accompaniment for paper is apricot confiture. I keep saying config. The perfect accompaniment for paper is apricot confiture. Confiture. It's gotta be confiture. How do I know this? An excellent question. As a child, I once ate a piece of my exercise book in front of my hired music teacher, to spite her. You know what? We've been all over the board in the sort of things we've been doing today, so we'll help this idiot. Just the one time. So I just want to see what happens. Digging your fingers deep into the hapless half-elf's throat, you retrieve the disgusting ball of soggy paper. The cultist coughs violently, and then, after taking a trembling breath, leaps up and takes off running. He disappears, leaving you with the wad of correspondence that is much the worse for wear. And thus you receive the masticated letter. And I'm going to go ahead and save right there because we have come to the end of a video that turned out to be a lot longer than I had intended. I want to also just get it out of the way and say in the next video I want to also clear out the other things that we've been needing to do while they're still doable before the time limit is up. Thankfully there doesn't seem to be a hard time limit, just a matter of doing things before certain events begin. So I want to get everything taken care of that I can do within the time I have available. So hopefully you guys will be willing to come along on that journey as I probably just wander around rampaging through locations, killing whatever's in my way. Although I was a Telden must be that curator that the other guy was talking about. We'll talk to him next time. I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves and everything you've seen here. We will be back tomorrow with another episode. So, if this was not enough for you despite being 2 hours long, well, have I got news for you. With all that said, we will see you next time.